Hello everyone, welcome back to AeroHub and welcome to the series of lectures in aerospace structures. In the previous lectures we discussed how to estimate the shear flow distribution as well as the twist rate of multi-cell sections, and in this lecture we will find out the value of shear flow as well as shear center for an airfoil section which is symmetric. And you are aware that symmetrical airfoil sections will find its application in the empennage part of an aircraft, that is at the horizontal stabilizer and vertical stabilizer, because if you are using an unsymmetrical airfoil section, there is a tendency to produce a moment at zero lift angle of attack. And you can see in this figure we have an airfoil section which is symmetric about the horizontal axis, and we are applying a shear force along vertical direction, that is y direction, of 5000 Newton, and we don't have any shear force along x direction, and the shear modulus is 27 gigapascal. We have to find out the shear flow as well as the shear center. As you can see in the figure, we have a section which is having three boom areas, 1, 2 and 3, and the areas of each boom is 10 centimeters square, and the thickness of the skin is 0.1 centimeter, and the dimensions are given in the figure, 80 centimeter and 20 centimeter as height. Okay, so the first step is to find out the centroid of the section, and from the centroid we have to find out the moment of inertia, and then we have to proceed to find out the values of shear flow and shear center. To find out the values of centroid, we need a reference axis. Since the section is having boom areas, we have three boom areas at point 1, 2 and 3. We have to make sure that the reference axis should be selected in such a way that the boom area should be inside the axis. Okay, so I'll be selecting a reference axis in this manner. This is the reference axis. This is the x-axis, and this one is the y-axis. Okay, because I have the dimensions already there in the question. Okay, it is nothing like I can draw a reference axis from here also, but the dimensions I can't find out for the boom areas. We have, while finding out the centroid, we have to only consider the boom areas of the section, because the section, we are assuming that the skin will be carrying only the shear load and the boom areas will be carrying the bending stress. That is, the skin is ineffective in bending and the boom areas will be carrying the direct stress or bending stress. Therefore, we have to find out the coordinates for the boom areas 1, 2 and 3 to find out the values of centroid, which is nothing but the point along which the first moment of area becomes 0. Okay, that is called centroid, or also you can argue centroid is nothing but the point about which the area is concentrated. Okay, so for point 2, the values of coordinate values is 0, 0, since it is the origin of the section. And you can see for point 1, the values of x and y coordinate will be, it is along the y axis, so the x coordinate will be 0 and the y coordinate will be 20. It is given in the question as 20 centimeter, 0, 20. And for point number 3, the x coordinate will be 80 and the y coordinate will be exactly 10. Okay, I am assuming it exactly 10 because we have a horizontal symmetry for the structure, and point 3 is exactly at the center of this section. Okay, so somewhere here, that will be from this origin point to the center will be 10 centimeter because the total height is 20 centimeter, so I can assume as 10. Okay, so these are the coordinates for the boom areas 1, 2 and 3. Now we have to find out the centroid of the section. We have the formula x bar is equal to summation ax divided by summation of area Now we have to consider point 1. The area of the boom area is 10 centimeter square and the x distance is 0 because it is lying on the y axis. Similarly, for boom area number 2, we don't have the x value as well as y value. Okay, so boom area 1 and boom area 2 is negligible when finding out the value of x bar because we don't have the value of x for point 1 and point 2. Okay, for point 3, the boom area is 10 and the x value is, we already found out, the x value is nothing but with respect to the reference axis. Okay, that will be 80 divided by the summation of areas. We are only considering the boom areas. We have 3 boom area of equal area of 10 centimeter square as given in the question. So the answer will be 80 divided by, it will be 80 by 3. That will be exactly 26.67 centimeter. This is the value for x bar. Similarly, we have to find out the value of y bar. That is summation ay divided by summation a. Now you can see that for point 2 there is no value for x and y, so this is neglected. For point 1 the value of y is 20, so I can write the area as 10 and the value of y is 20 for point 1, and for point 2 that's nothing but the point at which the boom area 2 is present. The value of y is 0, so that is neglected. And for point 3 the value of y is 10, so it will be 10 into 10 divided by the summation of area. We have 3 areas of equal boom area 10 centimeter square. So this will be 10 into 20, 200 plus 10 into 10, 100, 300 by 30, that will be 10 centimeter. So that exactly we have y bar as 10 centimeter. From this point to 10 we have the symmetry. Okay, so I can plot from here. The x bar is 26.67, so somewhere here I can plot. Okay, this will be the value of centroid CE, that is 26.67, 10. Okay, this is the value for centroid of the section. Now we have to find out the values of moment of inertia of this section. Okay, so the moment of inertia we already know from the previous calculations for sections which is using boom areas. We have Ixx is equal to n a y square and Iyy is equal to n a x square. Okay, here the value of y depends upon the centroidal axis. Okay, the value of y depends upon the value of x and y depends upon the centroidal axis. Now we have to draw the centroidal axis, then we have to find out the coordinate of boom area 1, 2 and 3 with respect to the centroidal axis. Now you can see in this figure I have to again consider the airfoil section, and we can see point 1, point 2 and point 3 where the boom areas are present, and I have marked the values of the coordinate of x and y with respect to the previous axis, that is the reference axis, and I have plotted the centroidal axis. Then the coordinate of this one will be 26.67, 10 with respect to the reference axis. Okay, now we have to find out the coordinate of point 1, 2 and 3 with respect to the centroidal axis. So you can see an axis passing through this centroid, and this is a centroidal axis, and through the centroid there will be the neutral axis. Okay, so we are aware about the formula Ixx is equal to n into ay square y is nothing but the distance of the boom area from the neutral axis of the centroidal axis. Okay, now for point 1, the value for x and y coordinate with respect to the centroidal axis will be, for point 1, I can write, this will be 0 and 20 with respect to reference axis. Then to find out the coordinate with respect to the centroidal axis, I can write 0 minus 26.67, comma, this is 20, 20 minus 10. So that equals, that it gives minus 26.67 and 10. Okay, so for point 1, the coordinate will be minus 26.67, comma, 10. Similarly, for point 2, the coordinate with respect to reference axis, which we used to find out the centroid, was the origin point, that is 0, 0. So the coordinate for point 2 will be minus 26.67 minus 10. You can see for point 1, it is on the negative side. This is the positive side here, the negative side. Okay, so this validates the proof. And for point 3, that will be 80 minus 26.67, comma, 10 minus 10. Okay, so for point 3, this will be 80 minus 26.67, that will be 53.33, and 10 minus 10, 0. That is exactly lying on the x-axis. That's why the y coordinate is 0. Now we will find out the value of Ixx. We have 3 areas. Totally we have area, 3 boom areas. And you can see for point 1, the coordinate is, I am circling that. These are the coordinate we have to consider. Okay. For point 1, we have the y coordinate 10, and point 2, we have y coordinate minus 10, and point 3, we have y coordinate 0. You can see y coordinate 10, y coordinate minus 10, and in this case y coordinate 0. So the number of areas we have to consider will be 2. 2 into the boom area will be 10, and the y square is 10 square. So the answer will be 10 square is 100, 100 into 10, 1000, 1000, 2000 centimeter power 4. Okay. Similarly, we have to find out the value of Iyy. It is nothing but NaX square. So we can see for point 1, point 2 and point 3 we have x values, and for point 1 and point 2 the values of x are the same. Okay, the values of x are the same, and for point 3 we have a different value. So I can write 2 into 10 into the x value here is, first one will consider for point 1 and point 2, that will be 26.67 square. This negative, if it is squaring, it will be okay, plus we have one area of x coordinates 53.33, 10 into 53.33 square. Okay, so when you calculate, you will be getting 42,666,67 centimeter power 4. This is the value for Ixx and Iyy. Now you have to understand the shear center. This section is symmetric about the horizontal axis. Therefore, the shear center will be lying on the horizontal axis. Okay, whenever we have any section which is having any horizontal or any symmetry, whether it is horizontal or vertical symmetry, the shear center will be lying on the symmetrical axis. Okay, since the entire section is symmetrical about the horizontal axis, the shear center will be lying on this horizontal axis. Okay, somewhere in the horizontal axis. Okay, therefore we have to find out the value of y with respect to the horizontal axis. Okay, we don't need to consider, we have to only find out the value of y from the centroidal axis. We don't need to consider the x coordinate. Okay, therefore I can find out, I can use the value of moment of inertia with respect to x-axis because the section is symmetric about x-axis. So I have to use the moment of inertia about x-axis. Okay, so therefore in the calculations, upcoming calculations, we no need to use the value of IYY because we have a horizontal axis symmetry. Okay, if the section is symmetric about y-axis, I have to use IYY instead of IXX. Okay, now we have the formula to find out the value of shear flow. Shear flow, we have formula Q is equal to minus VQ by I. Okay, we have discussed this formula. We have derived this equation in the first lecture of last unit, that is the concept of shear flow. I will be providing the link of that lecture in the description box. And we have derived this equation VQ by I, where V is the shear force, Q is the first moment of area, and I is the moment of inertia. Okay, so Q is nothing but the first moment of area. Q is nothing but A into Y. Okay, A will be the boom area, Y is nothing but the distance of the distance of the boom area from the centroidal axis. Okay, so I have discussed all this case in the previous lectures. We have to use all the concepts we have studied in the previous lectures, and this is one of the most complicated problem in airframe structures. And if you are aware to calculate the centroid of a airfoil section, and it will be really good for your career as a structural engineer in the companies you are working or where you are doing an R&D work, whatever field you are in aerospace industry. If you are aware to calculate the centroid of, not centroid, the shear center of an airfoil section, that will be really good. And we are using this formula. I can use the formula we discussed in the previous lectures, like Q is equal to minus SY IXX. Then we have the boom area summation R is equal to 1 to N boom area BR YR. I can use this formula, but this whole thing will be really complicated. So to make the calculations a bit easy and to make the problem much easier, I am using this concept. Okay, so I will be using this formula Q is equal to minus VQ by R, where V is the shear force and Q is nothing but the first moment of area. And you have to also understand we are applying the shear force on the boom area number 1. Vy is equal to 5000 Newton. Okay, that also you have to remember. Now we will find out the value of shear force, find out the value of shear flow. Now again consider the airfoil section. Now we are finding out the shear flows for the section, and since the section is a closed section, I am providing a cut on the portion 1-3. Therefore the shear flow on the portion 1-3 will be 0. I am providing a cut on the portion 1-3. Therefore the shear flow for the portion 1-3 will be 0. Since the section is symmetric about the horizontal axis, the shear flow for the portion 2-3 also should be equal to 0. Okay, that will be the case when the shear flow for portion 1-3 is 0. And you have to also understand we have a boom area at the point 1 and 3. So the shear flow on this entire portion will be constant when we have a boom area. When we have a boom area, the boom area will be between the boom areas, the shear flow value will be always a constant. Therefore, when I am giving a cut on the portion 1-3, the shear flow value for the entire section 1-3 will be equal to 0. Okay. Now I'll assume the shear flow on the portion 1-2, which is a curved web, as in this direction, Q12 and Q23 in this direction. Okay. And you are aware that the shear flow for a closed section QS is equal to QB plus Q naught or QS naught, where QB is the basic shear flow and Q naught is the shear flow at the portion we are making a cut. Okay. Therefore, first of all, we have to find the value of QB. Since this is 0, I will consider the portion 1-2. So I will consider QB12. That will be equal to minus VQ by IXX. So V is nothing but 5000, so it will be minus of 5000, and Q is area into Y. The value of Q is a Y, so the area for the boom area 1, I will consider the first boom area starting from 1 2. The boom area 1, the area is 10 centimeter square, and the value of Y from the central axis. Central axis is somewhere here, and we have the centroidal point 26.67 comma 10, and the value of Y for point 1 and point 2 is 10. So I can write the value of Y also as 10 divided by Ixx. The value of Ixx is 2000 centimeter power 4. So I will be getting minus 250 Newton per centimeter for QB12. Okay. And this is not the exact shear flow for QB12. We have to find out the value of Q0. Q0 is nothing but the shear flow at this point. Okay, not at the point for the section 1-3. And now we have to consider the portion 2-3. For QB23, we have to consider the shear flow for the previous section, that will be QB12, plus we have to consider the portion 2-3, that is minus of VQ, that is VQ by Ixx. Okay, so QB12 will be QB12 plus minus of 5000 into area of boom area 2 is 10, and the Y distance, okay, the boom area 2 is below the centroidal axis. You can see the boom area 2 is below the centroidal axis, and you can also see the boom area coordinate is minus 10. Okay, so I had to put the value as minus 10. To put the value as minus 10. Sorry, slight modification. Yes, minus 10 divided by Ixx is 2000 centimeter per 4, and you can see this expression as well as this one is same. So I will be getting minus 250 for QB12 plus 250 for QB23. Okay, for this portion will be plus 250, minus 500 into 10 into 10 divided by 2000. So I can get plus 250 because we have a 2 minus here. Okay, we already have a minus 250 here. So the total value for shear flow will be 0 Newton per centimeter. So you got the value of shear flow QB23. Okay, so QB23 is equal to 0 Newton per centimeter, and QB12 is minus 250 Newton per centimeter, and QB31 will be also 0 Newton per centimeter, since we are making a cut on the portion 1-3. Okay. Now to find out the value of shear flow, actual shear flow, we know that Q is equal to QS is equal to QB plus Q0 or QS0, whatever we can call. So Q12 will be equal to QB12 plus Q0, and Q23 will be equal to QB23 plus Q0, and Q31 is equal to QB31 plus Q0. Okay. Now I have to find out the values of Q0. Okay, so QB12 will be minus 250 plus Q0, and this will be Q23 will be QB23 will be 0. That will be Q0, and this also will be Q0. Okay. Because QB23 is 0 and QB31 is 0 and QB12 is minus 250, that will be found out in the previous step. Okay. Now to find out the value of Q0, I have to take the moment I have to use to find out Q0. We have to take moment. Okay, so what I will do is I will take the moment about this portion, point 1. I will take moment about point 1. Since I have made a cut on this portion, so it is always better to take moment about point 1 where the boom area 1 is present. Okay, so I can taking moment about point 1. Taking moment about 1, boom area 1. So the shear force is Vy. Since I am taking moment about boom area 1, the moment arm will be 0. Okay, I am considering moment about boom area 1, and to make the calculation easier, if I am taking moment about 0.3, I have to multiply by 80 centimeter. Okay, so to make the calculation simpler, I am taking moment about 0.1. So it will be Vy will be equal to 0, and the moment about the shear flows. You have to also understand the moment, the summation of moment due to external load will be equal to summation of moment to internal. Okay, so external here is the external shear load I am applying, and the internal is nothing but the shear flow. Internal moment will be with respect to the shear flow. Okay, so and you are aware that when we have a constant shear flow, the moment will be equal to M is equal to 2A into Q. Okay, when we have a constant shear flow, the moment is 2 times the area into Q, where A is nothing but the area enclosed with respect to the point we are taking the moment. Okay, this result we have done in the previous lectures. I will be providing that link in the description box. When we have a constant shear flow, the moment will be equal to 2 times A into Q, where A is nothing but the area enclosed with respect to the point where we are taking the moment. So we have to consider the moment for portion 1, 2 and portion 2, 3. So I will be writing 2A12 Q12 plus, now we have to consider the portion 2, 3. It will be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the area will be 2A 1, 2, 3 Q23. Okay, so the area of A12 is nothing but the area of the semicircle. A12 is nothing but this area enclosed. This is A12, and A23 is nothing but this area. The area enclosed by 1.1, 2 and 3. A12 is area enclosed by 0.1 and 2. Okay, we are taking moment up for this particular section, so it will be, you have to consider 2, 3 and 1. We are considering for this section, so it will be 1 and 2. So A12 will be the area of the semicircle, and A2, 1, 2, 3 will be the area of this triangle. Okay, now I will calculate the areas. It's a bit lengthy problem, but you have to cope up. That's all I can say. So Vy into 0 is equal to 2 times A12 Q12 plus 2 times A123 into Q23, and 2 times the area of 1, 2. It will be pi r square by 2. The radius is, this is 20 centimeter. The diameter is 20, so it will be pi into 10 square by 2. It will be pi into 10 square by 2 into n square by 2 into the Q12 will be minus 250 plus Q naught plus area of 1, 2, 3. That is the area of this triangle. Okay, so the base is 20 and the height is 80 centimeter. So that will be half BH. That is nothing but 2 times the area, that is 80 into 20 divided by 2 into the Q23 is Q naught. Okay, so I will be getting 314.15 into minus 250 plus Q naught plus 1600 into Q naught is equal to 0. Okay, so I'll be, after solving the equation, I'll be getting the value of Q naught, because we have the only unknown term here, it is Q naught. So Q naught will be, I'm getting 41.03 Newton per centimeter. Okay, so this is the value of Q naught. So Q12 is equal to minus 250 plus Q naught, that will be minus 250 plus 41.03, that will be minus 208.97 Newton per centimeter. Okay, and Q23 is equal to 41.03 Newton per centimeter, and Q31 is equal to 41.03 Newton per centimeter. Okay, now you have to find out the values of shear center. Okay, to find out the value of shear center, we will do a trick. That's nothing but, instead of applying the load on the boom area 1, I'll be applying a load on the shear center. We'll assume that the load is passing in this, okay, in this point in the horizontal axis symmetry. So somewhere here I am applying the value of By, that is nothing but 5000 Newton, and we are applying on the shear center, so that does not produce a twist. Okay, so this moment should be equal to the internal moment. Okay, and we have the equation, this equation will be Vy into E should be equal to 2 times the area A12 Q12 plus 2 times the area A123 into Q23. Okay, we found out the value of Q12 and Q23 in the previous step, and A123. A12 is nothing but the area of this semicircle enclosing the boom area 1 and 2, and A123 is nothing but the area of the triangle. This base is 20 and height is 80. So I will be getting Vy is 5000. 5000 into E is equal to 2 times the area pi 10 square by 2, and Q12 is minus 208.97 plus 2 times 80 into 20 divided by 2, that's the area of A123, and Q23 is 41.03. Okay, my mistake. And finally I'll be getting the value of E, and you can see I'm getting the value of E as minus 0.0000372 centimeter. Okay, minus is nothing but negative sign indicate the shear center is to the left of boom area 1. Okay, somewhere here this is the boom area, this is the shear center. Okay, the distance is 0.00372. It's really minor because we have taken the moment about 0.1. Okay, that's all about this lecture. That's it. You learned one of the important concept to find out the shear flow and shear center of an airfoil section. So you become an aeronautical engineer. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Take care.